What is going on, everybody? This is your man, Big B, Brian Hanley. Welcome to Steelers Almighty Postgame. Pittsburgh Steelers with a good, solid, workmanlike victory over the Cleveland Browns, 27-14. I was going into this saying that it was a must-win game for us. You can't be taken seriously if you get swept by the Browns. The game didn't start out great. It was shaky early on, but after the fact, the Steelers got it going. The defense showed up. Offense got it in gear. Like I said, just a kind of a workman-like type of game, man. So we're going to break all of it down for you guys and more. Remember, as always, man, Steelers Almighty, if you want your question, your rant, your statement, anything put up, you know exactly how to do that. Super chats are wide open. And you'll go right to the front of the line with all of that. So I appreciate everybody being in here. Again, Steelers Almighty, man, we are growing fast. We appreciate all your all support. Thank you for being here. But this is a good victory for the Pittsburgh Steelers. Good win, solid win. I know a lot of you don't think that it was a must win. I believe that it was. And again, just for the simple fact, you can't be taken seriously if you get swept by the Browns. You just can't. This gives us a full 2-game advantage over the Baltimore Ravens for the division, which is good. And this is also a game that we won that, I mean, if we're being honest, did the Steelers really play that well? I mean, we took advantage. We played complimentary football. We took advantage of some of their mistakes. I thought the defense played pretty well. The offense, it took a while to get going. But once they did, I thought they got away from the run a little bit too early. We were on that first drive, we were running the ball pretty well. And then we started throwing it, and, Russ wasn't sharp. The protection wasn't sharp. Receivers weren't sharp. I thought we got away from the run too early in the football game. Then we got back to it. I thought Jaylen Warren ran the ball extremely hard. He also caught the ball and ran well with it when he got it out of the backfield. I just thought it was a good, solid victory for the Pittsburgh Steelers. A game that we needed to win, a game that we did win. A lot of times, sometimes the Steelers have what's called those Mike Tomlin specials. Well, this one wasn't set up to be a Mike Tomlin special, and it didn't turn out to be. I thought we played a really solid football game, man. So, and just got the win, which is what we needed to do. Our man Alonzo with first super chat of the day is in here. It was a must-win, Big B. We have a gauntlet coming up. Thank you, Alonzo. I said the exact same thing. This was a must-win game. We got 3 football games coming up in 10 days. Oh, and by the way, they're the Philadelphia Eagles, the Baltimore Ravens, and the Kansas City Chiefs. I mean, I'm not sure that it gets more difficult than that. And 2 of those games are on the road, back-to-back games on the road. We had to win this football game. The thing that I wanted us to go in. I didn't want us to look terrible. We didn't. We got out of it relatively healthy. Larry O, we'll find out about that growing injury later in the week, I'm sure. TJ looked like he got a little bit nicked up, but he came back in the game, but we'll see if anything is there. Hopefully next week we can get Corey Trice back, because I didn't like what I saw out of Benny Bishop today. I'll be honest. There's 2 things that I didn't like about the Steelers football game today. I didn't like what I saw out of Benny Bishop. So hopefully we can get Corey Trice back next week. They give him a helmet and get him in the game. And then we should be able to get Montravius Adams back as well. Because, again, Larry O goes out. Montravius Adams not there. Dean Lowry, he didn't suit up today. He wasn't hurt. He just didn't suit up today. I want to see what we can do. Let's get our full complement. You know what I'm saying? What can the Steelers do with their full complement of guys? That's what I want to see. That's what I want to see. Lonzo Dunn, another one, super chat. Appreciate it. Thank you for your support. Yes, we're not favored in any of those football. We're not favored again until we play the Bengals. Think about that. We got 4 football games left, and we're not favored until the last game of the year. We're not favored against. Now, things obviously can change, but I don't see it changing. But by the time we play Philadelphia, we're not going to be favored. We're not going to be favored going to Baltimore, and we're not going to be favored, against the Chiefs. Now, again, things can change, obviously. But, it's a gauntlet. It was a must win, man. It was a must win. So, my man Capricorn Steel, we appreciate you as always, man. Great win, B. Next week, Philly will be a challenge and a litmus test for how good we are. I believe so. I believe so. That the reason that it's going to be a litmus test, Mr. Capricorn Steel, is that Philadelphia is going to come out and try to punch us right in the mouth. Philadelphia has been running the football on basically everybody. Well, are we going to allow that? Saquon Barkley had I think he had like 120 yards again today. I want to say that they averaged, I was looking at a little bit of the box scores before we came on. I think Philly averaged like 7 yards a carry today against Carolina. By the way, that game wasn't a blowout either. So I know what you're thinking. Well, it's Carolina. They just ran up and down the field, which they did, but the game wasn't out of reach. Carolina shut down pretty much what Philly was trying to do, throwing the football. And I think that's what the Steelers got to do. Make Jalen Hurts beat you with his arm. Make him do that. Keep him in the pocket, and then make him be kind of what we do with Lamar Jackson. Make him beat you with his arm and live with the results. Live with the results. So you're right. It is definitely a litmus test. Man, Steven Stroud, thank you for the support and the super chat, Steven. Good game for Mike Williams. I'm going to give it to him. Look, it wasn't spectacular, but based on what we've seen from Mike Williams the last 3 weeks, yeah, I'm going to say that was a good game for Mike Williams. Like I said in the pregame, if Mike Williams can't do anything in this football game where we don't have George Pickens, and you're supposed to be another guy like George Pickens, just not near as athletic. If you can't do anything in this football game, then damn it, do we even need you on the football team? So I was glad to see, look, he had 3 for 36. That was a BS offensive pass interference. I guess you can call it. So he could have had another catch, but he kind of did the things that we needed him to do. So I was glad that he made a couple of plays for us today, because I'll be honest, we're gonna need him down the stretch. We're gonna need him down the stretch. Who knows what's going on with Pickens' hamstring, man? Who the hell knows what? You know how hamstrings, anything can happen. So I was glad. I was glad to see that. So I was real glad to see that. But yeah, like I said, that pass interference, I don't know, man. I guess. The only thing that bothers me is that the Steelers don't seem to always get. Now, we got one today where offensive pass interference, but it was obvious. But we don't always get that call for us. So I was glad to see Joey Porter Jr. had a little bit of a bounce back game. He got a stupid penalty, pushing a guy out in the open, retaliating, and punching the guy in the face. My thing is, if he just pushes the guy in the chest, it's not even a flag. But that's not what he did. He pushes the guy in the face. I'm like, what are you doing, man? Why do you even need to do that? Just come on. Oh, but it bounced back game, this week from what he had the previous week. So if I'm going to bash him for playing bad, I got to talk about him when he played good. And I thought he had a pretty decent day today. Let me go over the bad stuff first. Beanie Bishop, I did not like. Beanie Bishop's tackling. The routes that he was taking to tackle. There was one time Mika was like, force him to the sideline. Make him run out of bounds. Instead, you get juked, and he goes right around you. Like, come on, man. Yeah, I didn't like what I saw out of Beanie Bishop today. I think they gave him more of a shot today than what they did Cam Sutton. Put Cam Sutton in the game. If this is the tackling we're going to get, put Cam Sutton in the game and live with the results. I didn't like what I saw out of Beanie Bishop today. Another thing that I didn't like today, y'all tell me in the chat if y'all agree or disagree. I know Cam Hayward had 2 sacks. I didn't like the pass rush today. I thought the pass rush was atrocious, to be honest with you. I thought our pass rush sucked today. Now, maybe they were doing that on purpose. I don't know. And I'll be honest with you. And guys, I always say this. I'm the honest guy. I'm the honest Steeler fan. I'm a fan that tells it like it is. They were blocking TJ Watt a lot of times with one guy. Now, I know Conklin is really good. He's good. But today, They didn't do a whole lot of double teaming on TJ. There was some chip. Don't get me wrong. They chipped him from time to time, but a lot of times it was just Conklin was just blocking him, you know. So our pass rush, it was bad. It was bad. So our pass rush was atrocious. And the Steelers did not have 6 sacks. We had 3. So stop with the nonsense. Cam Hayward had a great game. But yeah, our pass rush wasn't good today. It just wasn't good. Now our run defense, I don't know. They got a couple of runs on us late. When the game was basically over, they got a couple of long runs. I know Nick Chubb had a long run. They had 104 yards rushing, but to me, I thought our defense played really well. All our defense was fine. They had that, what was it, 16 play, like 79-yard drive when the game was 79 or the game was 27-7. So they had that real long drive. But to me, I mean, we were in prevent. We were keeping everything in front of us. So they got a long drive. They only had 304 total yards on the day. So, and you take away maybe half of those if the Steelers are playing real active defense. Yeah, I don't know. I thought our defense was fine today. It was better than fine today. Like I said, only 2 things that I didn't like about it. I didn't like Beanie Bishop and what he was doing out there. And I thought our pass rush, either it was lazy or it was just atrocious. But it wasn't there. Jameis Winston had a ton of time. He was stepping up. He was moving around. I did not like it. Maybe you say I'm nitpicking. I don't think I'm nitpicking. If you're being honest, it wasn't that good today. And that's okay. That's okay. I'm not saying it has to be. We need more. Don't get me wrong. We need more, but we won the football game. And quite honestly, we had it put away. They made a couple of turnovers. What did I tell you? Jameis Winston was going to throw us the football. All we have to do is be there and catch it. I said, he's at least going to throw it to us twice. I said that. I said it with the Big Show with Big G. I said it on our podcast on Wednesday. I said it in the scouting report. I said it in the pregame. I said at least twice they are going to throw us the football. And he was going to throw it to us. And he did, and we caught it. So that's all I know. My man Alonzo, pass rush was about containment, and Conklin always plays TJ tough. Exactly. Conklin is back. First of all, people that don't know about Jack Conklin, he's one of the best right tackles in football. Period. End of story. He's one of the best. He blew his knee out last year early in the season. It looks like Conklin is back to form because he's really good. And you're right about the pass rush. I mean, I guess it was about containment. Were we worried about Winston getting out of the pocket? I don't know. It just wasn't there the way that I wanted it to be there. We needed more. So you can argue it all you want. I'm not changing my mind no matter what. I didn't think the pass rush was what it needed to be today. Period. End of story from my perspective. But other than that, there was just one play. Patrick Queen played a pretty good game. I know he missed 2 tackles on one play. But for the most part, I thought Patrick Queen was there. He was much better in coverage today than what he has been a lot of the times this season. Deshaun Elliott he won't win MVP, but maybe he should. Deshaun Elliott was everywhere, people. In the run game, in coverage. Deshaun Elliott was everywhere. I wouldn't be surprised if Deshaun Elliott doesn't get real votes for being an all-pro this season, because I think he should. I know I'm biased. I know we're biased as Steeler fans. Deshaun Elliott was everywhere in this football game again. Everywhere. I don't know what else you're looking for in a strong safety other than he tackles in the run game. He run blitzes when you need him to. He can cover tight ends, knock away passes. He can play on the back end as well if you need him on the back end. The guy was incredible. The one thing that I know, and I think his contract, I know he signed a 2-year contract, but I'm sure there's probably an out. If the Steelers are being serious, we got to re-sign Deshaun Elliott. We got to give him more money. We got to figure out a way to keep him around because that guy is playing. This defense is perfect for him. It is perfect for him. Not just a little bit, not just, oh, well, he fits into a scheme and he does his role. No, 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 no. This defense allows him to shine, and he is shining, ladies and gentlemen. He was incredible today. He was incredible. Patrick Queen was really good. Like I said, the defense as a whole, again, I know you might think I'm nitpicking about the pass rush. I thought they played good. Like I said, they played better than good. I thought they played really good today. They played really good today because, again, the Browns got a bunch of yards after we had a double-digit lead. When the game was being decided basically from the second quarter into the fourth quarter, did the Browns do anything? I mean, seriously, like when the game was being decided from the beginning of the second quarter until the beginning of the fourth quarter, the Browns didn't do anything. They had a couple of drives. They missed field goals. Well, that's not our problem. Well, they missed a couple of field goals. Well, okay, make the field goals. You could have made the game closer. That's not our fault that you missed. Okay? I mean, make them. Our guy makes them. So your guy can make them too. So screw everything else. So, yeah, when the game was being decided, they didn't do anything. Not to mention, I want to say Cleveland. Let me go back and look here, but I believe that they were, 2 of 13 on third down? Let me look. Yeah, they were 2 for 13 on third down. Now, they were 3 or 4 on fourth down. I get it. But they were 2 for 13 on third down. I mean, like I mentioned, the Steelers defense was doing their thing today, man. The Steelers defense was doing their thing. On offense, I didn't like how the football game started. I thought we were running the ball fine. And then all of a sudden we started to throw the ball. I didn't like that. I was like, what are we doing? But again, everything was off. Russ did have a great game, didn't have a great game early. It looked ugly, actually, early. Receivers weren't getting open. The protection was a nightmare. Now, the one thing is, I'll say that, Myles Garrett had that late sack that Russ ran into, which is nothing worse than your quarterback running into a sack when he doesn't have to. That bothers me. I don't know about you guys, man, but that bothers me. Like, you didn't have to run out of the pocket in that situation. Step up, move left or right, but you try to scramble out around Myles Garrett. Now, don't get me wrong, Garrett dominated a double team there, but if you would have just moved to your right, he would have been blocked. Isaac was there to block him. Instead, you run outside. I'm like, come on, man. You don't have to do that. Don't run into a sack. But I know this. Myles Garrett didn't dominate the football game like he did previously when we played him. He didn't do that. Matter of fact, there was a long stretch where you didn't even really notice him out there, did you? Long stretch. So, yeah, I'm going to have to get into the all-22 to see how well the line did. But there was a lot of time the Steelers are running the ball into an 8- and 9-man box. I'm like, what are you going to do? I mean, but they still, even with that, guys, we went for 120 yards. Now, at the end of the game, it's going to look ugly because the yards per carry are 3.4 yards a carry. Cordell Patterson can't hold the football. We can't give him the football at the end of the game. How do you fumble? Again, y'all know me. I have no sympathy for fumbling. None whatsoever. I don't care. You cannot fumble my football. Don't care. But Jalen averaged 5.2. Najee was averaging over 4 yards a carry until the end of the game. When, again, he was running in those boxes. So it wasn't a horrible day at the office. We didn't have 300 yards of total offense, but we did have 27 points. We held them to 14. Again, we gave him a late touchdown. I thought the Steelers were fine today. So thought we were fine. Again, man, I appreciate all y'all being in here. Thank you guys for showing up and showing out. Like, if you want your questions up on the screen or your statements, all that, you know how to do that. Super Chat gets right to the front of the line. We'll throw it up there. We appreciate that. Report card coming out tomorrow. All 22 of the offensive line coming out on Tuesday. Podcast Wednesday. Then we got our scouting report for the Philadelphia Eagles that'll come out Friday. So make sure you guys take a look and check out all of those videos, and definitely like and make comments on all those videos for us. So we appreciate it. We really take pride in being the fastest growing Steelers channel on YouTube, man. We take a lot of pride in that and the stuff that we do. So thank you guys for support. So here's a question. My man Kevin said, "Could somebody ask Broderick to tuck in the shirt or something?" I don't know. I mean, I don't see a lot of people grabbing onto it, so I don't think it's that big of a deal. Um, I saw Broderick out there getting into it a little bit. Y'all know I'm going to be on his head tomorrow, so we're going to watch a lot of Broderick. The line I thought was okay today. I thought they were okay. So I thought they were okay. The one thing about this football game, like I mentioned at the opening, and basically had mentioned it all week, we had to win the game. Right? I don't care what anybody says. This was a must-win football game for the Pittsburgh Steelers. We had to win the game, knowing what we have left. Got to win this football game. Can't be a game that we just let slide, and we didn't. So it was a good, solid victory. We didn't do anything crazy. We didn't do anything extraordinary. I just thought it was a game we needed to win, and we went and won it. And we're better than the Browns. That's the thing. We're better than they are. We let one get away in Cleveland because we didn't match their intensity at the beginning of the football game. Had we done that, I think the Steelers would have won that game. Let that one get away. We didn't let this one get away. So, let's see. Broderick did nothing wrong. They ran into cover 0. I don't know. Maybe you're probably talking to somebody else, not talking to me. So, one thing they did, like I said, near the end of the game, Cleveland had 8-9 guys in the box. So we ran the ball. But when you block it right, that toss that a lot of us can't stand. We ran a toss, got a first down. Darnell Washington was out there doing yeoman's work blocking on the corner. I thought he almost killed the guy. I was like, holy mackerel, he's out there killing somebody. So when you block it right, toss is fine. The problem is, how often do the Steelers actually block it right? You know, as far as Russ today, he was okay. Obviously, he had a much better middle section of the game than he did at the beginning. You know, those first couple of quarters, that was bad football. There was a couple of throws that Russ threw. It looked like it slipped out of his hand. There was one throw because he's short. He hit, I think it was Frazier, in the back of the helmet. I'm like, bro, you can't. I mean, you got to throw the ball higher than that, man. What are we doing here? But I thought Russ was okay today. It was just okay. I mean, I don't want to venture into saying it was bad because he didn't put the ball in harm's way. But I thought it was just an okay game. And again, that's coming off a game where he was absolutely phenomenal. But he did do his thing when we needed him to do his thing, you know. So he did his thing when we needed him to do his thing. Threw another 2 touchdown passes. What was he? 15 for 26, 156 or 158. QB rating of 101. That ain't horrible. That ain't horrible. He ran a couple of read options, got out of harm's way a few times. He kind of did his thing today. Just a workman-like effort. A workman-like effort. So, yeah, Kenny Pickett had a let me find a sack moment. My man Alonzo. Yeah, he did. Yeah, he did. Yeah. Like I said, man, I'm an old offensive lineman. There is nothing worse than a quarterback running into a sack when you're blocking the guy and he just runs over there for no reason. Nothing worse than that. Makes you look bad, but more importantly, makes me furious. I'm like, what are you doing? Just stay in the pocket. And on that opportunity, he didn't have to run out of the pocket. He didn't have to. So I get it. So, yeah. Yeah. Elandon Roberts. You talk about somebody who almost killed a guy. Lord have mercy. Elandon Roberts, I think it was 55. He ran through his chest. I don't know that I've seen something like that at the professional level in a long time. Sweep. You're running outside zone. Here I come. I'm going through you to the running back. He just ran complete. Now, I understand 55 probably didn't see him. I get it. Is that E-Rob's problem? I don't think it is. Keep your head on the swivel. Ain't that what they always tell you? Keep your head on the swivel. Not to mention, you're supposed to block somebody. This man, and it's not like he hit him from the side or anything like that. I'm sure he saw him late, and it was too late. Not my problem. Not my problem. He hit you square in your chest and put him on his back. I'm like, holy cow. So, it was good stuff. It was good stuff. Keanu Benton had a pick. And first of all, that shows you how athletic he was because he goes out on the screen and reaches up and grabs the ball, then returns it for like 10, 12 yards, you know? But I just want to see more of him, number one, in the run game, and he does a good job of eating up blockers. He's done much better the last couple of games. I think Benton was hurt, but I want to see him get after the pass rusher, after the quarterback a little bit more. I want to see Keanu get after the quarterback a little bit more. But I know he's out of position. That's part of it. He's playing out of position, but I want to see him be able to do that. I want to see him be able to do that. But he made a great play on that pick, regardless. He did. Made a great play on that pick. Let's see. What do we got here, people? What do we got here? What do y'all in the chat? What did you all see that you like? I thought the punting game was good today. Thought the punting game was real good today. Our special teams, again, doing yeoman's work, just doing what we do. I mean, how easy does Bosworth make 50-yard field goals look? And again, I'm not saying that they're easy. I'm just saying, how easy does he make them look? I mean, it just kind of comes out there, swings, kicks, and then starts headbutting people. He just makes it look so simple. Like 54-yarder, it's in the bag. And they're right down the middle. That's the thing. It's not like, oh man, it barely made it in, he's kicking these things right down the middle from 50 yards. Just unbelievable. So, whew. Yeah, it was terrible. That stuff. I shouldn't say it's terrible. It's just great. I don't know what he's doing. So I don't know what he's doing. And as far as the pass rush was bad. You want to give credit for Winston's bad passer rating? Give the coverage. Steelers were covering their ass off today, people. Look, if we can bash them for being bad against Cincinnati, we'll give them credit today. You know how I am. I'm always going to give credit where credit is due. The pass rush wasn't there today. The coverage was. So if you want anybody to take credit for what was going on in their passing game, give credit to the coverage. Minus Beanie Bishop, of course. But give credit to coverage. They were covering their ass off today, man. They really were. They were. So, Yo, Ben Skoranek? Yeah, Ben Skoranek's doing his thing, man. He's doing his thing. First of all, he draws us a 15-yard penalty. And Kadarius Toney, like, I was on a text chain during the game. Like, Kadarius Toney's probably going to get cut, if not tonight, tomorrow. And this was probably, if you wanted to have anything sentimental, Kadarius Toney played his last football game in the National Football League against the Pittsburgh Steelers today. I mean, think about that. The man has been traded. This is his third team. He got traded, then he got cut. So this is his third team in 4 or 5 years. He's got bad hands. Now in a game that you're trying to win, he gets a 15-yard penalty and muffs a punt. At some point, that's about it. At some point, that's about it. I think it's about all she wrote for our man Kadarius Toney, man. Either way, yeoman's work for the Pittsburgh Steelers today, people. Yeoman's work for the Pittsburgh Steelers. So, good game. Like I said, if anything, Deshaun Elliott was the superstar of this football game. I give a lot of credit to our secondary today. JPJ had a big bounce back game from having just a disastrous game last week. Big bounce back game this week. Didn't like that stupid 15-yard penalty that he got. But as far as his coverage, his tackling, he was sticking his nose in there on tackles, which is something that he wouldn't do as much as early in the season this year. So he did a real good job. So, Real good job. Mm-mm-mm. Let's see. Queen was all over the field today. Yes, he was. Yes, he was. You know, the only thing we saw Queen missed the 2 tackles on one play against Ford. But other than that, Queen was everywhere today. He so much better in coverage today than what he's been all season. I loved it. I loved it. Yeah, he did his thing today, man. He did his thing today. So Keanu Benton, yeah, he had that pick. He didn't do a whole lot of tackling, but his job's not to tackle though. His job's to eat up blocks, and he did a good job of that today. When he's doing his job and eating up blocks, guys can run free. Cam Hayward's still saying, "Hey man, I'm 25, not 35." So I mean, again, Cam Hayward doing his thing. I liked Peyton Wilson today, people. I don't know about you, but I like Peyton Wilson out there today. I think they figured out, first of all, he's getting better. And how do you get better in the pros? Obviously, the more playing time you get, the more live reps you get, the better you're going to be. Peyton Wilson's starting to get better. He's starting to get it. He's starting to get it. Minka was out there. Look, I'm going to stop being on Minka because they didn't do anything to threaten what Minka was trying to do. Minka was where he needed to be. Kept everything in front of him. He wasn't out of position. He didn't miss a whole bunch of tackles or anything like that. So we want Minka to have more splash plays based on the amount of money he makes, but Minka was fine. Again, he's never not been fine. I think we just want to see more. I know I do. But he was fine today. He was fine today. So, which was good. Which was good. Man, brother, man, with our super chat, next super chat here. Scheme more for Williams. Nice catch today. Yeah, he had a couple nice catches today. Absolutely got to scheme more for him. Absolutely got to scheme more for Mike Williams. And like I said in the pregame, if Mike Williams couldn't do anything today when Pickens was out and he wasn't going to do anything, I was like, do we even need Williams on the team anymore? Like, what's his purpose if he can't do anything? And he did today. And again, that was a BS offensive pass interference, man. I don't know. Whatever. I know we got one, and it was kind of BS too. And so maybe it was a get back call because it was the same ref. But either way, I didn't like it. But he made a couple of plays for us today. We just got to do more. We got to do more. So, my man Dustin, another super chat. We appreciate you. Thanks for your all support, man. I was surprised at how much Scotty Miller was used. Now, you can't be surprised. We didn't have Pickens. We didn't have Pickens today. So we didn't have Pickens, and we had to use somebody. So just go down the catch list. Freiermuth, three catches. Scotty Miller, 3 catches. Mike Williams, 3 catches. Jaylen Warren, 2. Van Jefferson, again, stepped up with that big touchdown catch. Calvin Austin, 1. And that was it. So I guess technically Pruitt and Patterson each had catches, but they lost yards on theirs. So it was good. It's good what we did today, man. It's good what we did. Our man Alonzo Dunn, again, thank you, man, for all the support. Miniature is the anchor. He's holding. I know you're talking about Minka is the anchor. He holds the backfield together. Absolutely. Absolutely. Like I said, we want some splash plays out of Minka, but he's doing his job. He's doing his job. So, and maybe the Steelers have switched, the fundamentals on what they're asking Minka to do. Just wants us to keep everything in front, keep us together. He's doing that, man. He's doing that. So good for him. Good for him. So, no, the one thing I don't like as far as on offense is 2 things, I should say. One is we keep throwing. Now, I know Scotty Miller made a great catch, but my thing was, where the hell is Mike Williams? Why are we throwing fades to these slot receivers? I'm like, come on, man. That's not the move. It worked out today. Don't get me wrong, but that's just not the move. And then my man, Baby P, who is always in here and gives us a ton of support, and we love him. Roman Wilson is a bust. Who cares? I highly doubt he makes a 53-man roster next year. Well, Baby P, the one thing I would tell you is he's going to make the 53-man roster next year. just because he was a third-round pick. They're going to give him every opportunity to make it. But as far as him being a bust, I don't know that I disagree with you because at this point, he's just not playing. So what are we doing here? So, I mean, I've heard everything to he can't get the playbook to he's soft. Now, I find it hard to believe that he's soft because he was a crazy good blocker at Michigan. But if you can't learn the playbook, well, that's a different conversation. I'm flabbergasted by that. But it doesn't mean it ain't true. Another super chat by our man, brother man. Alex Highsmith return really helped us today. Yeah, it did. Having that rotation of Watt, Highsmith, Herbig, and Preston Smith is exactly what we need. It's exactly what we need. Look, Preston Smith's not going to be great rushing the passer, but he's so good against the run. It makes a difference. It makes a difference. Herbig, again, was good today. But like I've said all along, there is a huge difference between Alex Highsmith and Nate Herbig when it comes to playing the run. It's not even comparable when you're talking about just playing the run. Highsmith is so much better. And again, that's not a knock on Herbig. That's just saying that Highsmith is just so much better against the run. And he is. He is. And if you're being honest, you knew the difference. You could see the difference between Herbig and Highsmith today. So Roman Wilson played one snap. Yeah. Roman Wilson, I don't know, man. I'm out. I'm out. So doesn't matter. We won the football game. So he played the football game. We won the football game, and that's all that matters to me, man. That's all that matters to me. So hopefully we can carry this over into next week. I think we got something here. It's going to be a tough game next week, people. Let's start it now. This is going to be a tough game against Philadelphia next week. They're a physical football team. They're going to try to run the ball right down the Steelers' throat because that's what they do. Their offensive line is very good. It's a top 3 offensive line in the National Football League. And if we're being honest, I'm not sure they're third. I mean, they might be first. I think probably Detroit is first, but they ain't far behind. So, and Saquon Barkley is playing at an MVP level. I think he had another 120 yards today. So it's going to be a tough afternoon for the Pittsburgh Steelers. But you know what? We're tough. The Steelers are tough, and we'll have a scheme. We'll have something ready, and we just got to match their energy early, because the crowd's going to be into it. We got to come out and match their energy early and be just as physical as they are. And then let the chips fall where they may. Because while the Eagles' defense is good, it is good, I think our offense can match up with them. I think our offense can absolutely move the football against them. So it'll be interesting to see. So says the Steelers haven't won in Philly since before Big B, 1965. Well, they haven't played there that often, but that's still a long-ass time. But I would love for next week to be the week that we beat them. Period. End of story. Go there and win. Go there, win. Again, another game. You want to be considered, because everybody around, all the pundits, all the national media, they all consider Philly to be a really good football team. Everybody talks about how good they are. Well, the Steelers go there and put up a good showing. They'll be forced to say that we're a good football team. Because, see, right now, they're not really saying that. I know we beat Baltimore. We've got 10 wins. We're leading the division by 2 games. But not a lot of people are saying that the Pittsburgh Steelers are that good of a football team. You go to Philly and win, they'll have to say it. They'll have to say that we are a good football team. As much as some of them don't want to, people, and y'all know they don't. For some reason, the national media just doesn't want to give us credit. Whatever. Bottom line, go win in Philly next week. Go smack them around, and then what will anybody be able to say? Then nobody's going to be able to say anything. They'll just have to say, well, you know what? Maybe we underestimated the Steelers. Maybe they are pretty good this year. Maybe some of the games that they lost, okay, they were early. And I know we lost to the Browns a couple weeks back, but They gave away those games. The Browns, it was on a Thursday on the road after an emotional Sunday win. They gave away the game to the Cowboys. If they played the Cowboys again, they beat them by 2 touchdowns. You know, the game against Indy. Now, Indy's not horrible, but I mean, the defense didn't show up for basically the first 3.5 quarters against Indianapolis. Either way, Pittsburgh is good. I like where we sit. I like what we're doing. I like where we are. I like that we won this game. That number one, relatively healthy. Let's hope Larry O is okay. And let's hope TJ, I know he came back in, but he went out. Let's hope he's fine. So we came out relatively healthy. Let's hope we get Montravius Adams, George Pickens, and Corey Trice back next week. And then let's go play football and see where the chips fall. Let's go play football and see where the chips fall, man. I'm ready for that football game to be here. I'm ready for it to be here and see where we match up. Somebody, my man Capricorn Steel said it was going to be a litmus test. He's right. I'm ready for us to go past that test. So I'm ready for it to be here. Well, I appreciate everybody being in today, man. We had a lot of fun. Steelers, good win today. Good win today. Like I said, nothing spectacular on offense. I thought the defense was really good, but nothing spectacular on offense. We made the plays we needed to make to go win the football game, minus our best weapon on the offensive side of the football. And we were still able to generate 27 points. So I will absolutely take it. Good win. Appreciate you all. Look, man, we will be back, like I said, the schedule tomorrow. Make sure you check out the report card that comes out. Then on Tuesday, we'll have the all-22 for the Steelers offensive line. Wednesday, we got our podcast. It'll be premiere. Make sure you guys are in the chat. We'll go back and forth in there. And then on Friday, we'll have the scouting report for the Philadelphia Eagles. Hopefully, a couple of these teams have been just snubbing me on doing some interviews and coming on, man. So hopefully, I think I got an Eagles guy that'll play ball with us so we can get their perspective of this game too. So that makes the scouting report a lot more fun. So appreciate you guys being here, man. Thank you guys again for all the support. Steelers Almighty, fastest growing Steelers channel on YouTube. It's not because of us. It's because of you. We appreciate you guys. We love you guys. Thank you for the support. As you can tell, I'm feeling a little better. I'm still at about 70%, but I can talk. I can move. I can be excited again. Before, y'all saw me, I was just sitting here like this, barely able to talk, mouth this big, spitting all over the place. But I'm better, man. I feel better. I appreciate y'all. Thank you for all the well wishes, man. We'll be back with you tomorrow. Make sure you come check out all the videos. We love you, and aloha.